Hey Scorpio, 10 of Wands, a burden of some sort, either releasing a burden, um, or you're in a burdensome situation, because the 10 of Wands is about almost carrying around like a stack of bricks and needing somewhere to set them down, but not sure when, not sure where to do it. The 10 of Wands, like I said, talks about um, burden, but also talks about responsibility and a first completion. So the first completion could be recognizing that there's some sort of burden here, recognizing that some changes need to be made, or a first completion of some sort of communication coming in or going out. There's some sort of heavy burden of, we're not talking, I'm not sure what you're feeling, I'm not sure what you're thinking, and vice versa. So it's almost as if there's no communication. The lines are completely down right now. And this is kind of it's a responsibility feeling in the fact of, do we just get some closure here? Do we communicate and say, I care about you, I love you, but it's not good for us? Or do we just, shut it down completely, try not to think about it, and then go from there? But the 10 of Wands is, you're carrying some sort of burden this month. I do feel like it is the fact that there's either not closure that you need with somebody, or you're still feeling the lines of communication, or not communication, connection, are open so strongly that it's like, okay, something else needs to happen here. We either need to communicate or we need to close this completely off. There's like an open wound that needs to be healed. Shine some light on it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Shine some light on it is, where is this burden coming from? If the burden's coming from, I need some closure, then you're going to need to get some closure. And however you're going to need to do that, whether it's talking to this person, whether it's getting the closure on your own, or if you are wondering, are we done completely? Or is there still a possibility that we're going to see each other, or that we're going to come together again? I need answer. It's basically being stuck and feeling a pressure of some sort. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is a very like not wanting to let go energy, as far as not wanting to let your heartstrings go. So it's like, I don't want to share my coins with anybody. It's a very possessive, frugality type energy. It's almost as if there's this connection with this person, but you're not willing to take the first step, or you're not going to be the one to make the move, or you're not going to be the one to necessarily express feelings of love or express feelings of endearment right now, because you are feeling they're very much saying it's kind of not a blame game so much, but this person has some serious apologizing to do. Like, point blank, they're telling me, Scorpio, you are owed a major apology. Now, cross watchers, please do not give Scorpio shit in the comments. It can be fully reversed. So this is their read, not yours, but it can be fully reversed. So please don't start dogging Scorpio in the end when I say they're owed a major apology, because you know what? That's exactly what's coming through, is that Scorpio is owed an apology, and you're kind of holding on to your coins going, until I hear what I need to hear, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, maybe the burden is that, I'm still angry. I'm not moving forward with you, or I'm not forgiving anything unless you actually have something to say that can rectify the situation. Now, the next card you have is the Seven of Pentacles, which is assessing a situation and trying to figure out what the next step is. The Seven of Pentacles is kind of a risk reward. So what's the payoff? If I ignore this person and I keep them at arm's length or 10 arm's length, and I ghost them and I have nothing to do with them, where does that get me? But at the same time, if I give them a chance and I do talk to them, how do I know that these same things won't happen, that we won't just keep going round and round and round? The definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. The next card you have is your distant past, over the past 5-10 years. This feels like this is what's bothering you, Scorpio. The Ace of Swords is clarity, it's logic, it's power. This feels like the first time that you actually see things clearly, and yet now you're bothered because it's almost eye-opening, and you're going, and I know this sounds strange, but sometimes it's almost better to be naive to a situation, right? Or if you don't know, and then all of a sudden it's like, it smacks you in the face, and you're like, holy shit, this person's been disrespectful, or they've been lying to me, or they've been cheating, or there's been, I thought we were in a committed relationship, and they're telling me we're committed, and, and they're telling me that we're committed, and yet I find out they're talking to like 3 other people. So this Ace of Swords is coming up from the universe, from the distant past, saying, look, Scorpio, you've seen what you need to see, so you have the tools to make a decision. You have the tools to decide whether this is something you would ever pursue again or not pursue again. And the Ace of Swords is saying you're seeing things clearly, which is why you're so heavily analyzing the situation. With the Seven of Pentacles, that assessing that risk reward. If we got back together, could I ever trust them? If we got back together, could we ever find that passion and romance again? If we got back together, would I just be on the losing end, or would it come down to they can't commit again, or they can't? So you get my point. There's a lot of different things running through your mind, but at the end of the day, the universe is saying with the Ace of Swords, you have the answers you seek. The next card you have is your immediate past, or the past few weeks. Now, you have the Hanged Man, which often represents Pisces, so you could be dealing with Pisces or have Pisces energy in your chart. But the Hanged Man talks about somebody who's figured something out. So a very wise energy, somebody who's like, I think I've already hung myself out to dry, so to speak. I've put myself out there, and I'm growing wiser and wiser and wiser by the moment. The Hanged Man is somebody who has given and given and given, and people have taken and taken and taken. And Hanged Man is an energy of, I'm not willing to, I've sacrificed enough. Like, the Hanged Man is somebody who sacrificed to the nth degree. Somebody who is literally just given their all, or what they think is their all, and then they've been taken advantage of. Because the Hanged Man is saying now, I'm not willing to move anywhere. I'm not willing to take your offer. I'm not willing to communicate, because I've learned from the situation at hand. I've learned from it. So I'm not willing to dive right back into this. So this tells me, Scorpio, that this person's either contacting you and wanting to start anew, or they at least want to communicate with you. And this is you kind of saying, I don't really owe you anything right now, so when I feel ready, or when I feel like it, I will. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Four of Wands. Now, I love the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is peace, it's resting, it's happiness, it's a coming together. It's a first completion as well. So the Ten of Wands talks about a first completion, and the Four of Wands talks about a first completion. So there is going to be some sort of communication here, Scorpio. For some of you, it's going to lead to where you thought you were going to be, or it's going to lead to a place where you found peace. Now, whether that's with old or new, it's still yet to be seen, but for a lot of you, this is going to be somebody who comes back. There is going to be an apology of some sort, or there is going to be, there's an apology coming. Because I very strongly feel like you're just like, nope, I'm not saying anything. And this person knows if they don't open their mouth and start speaking pretty soon, you want none of it. However, it could lead to something very significant here. It's just whether you decide to accept the apology or not. Because at this point, if let's say, it's almost like saying, I want the apology, but then when they apologize, you don't accept it, then you're opening a whole new slew of problems. Now, I'm not saying you need to accept it right away, or you need to make any moves, or you need to move in any fashion. But if you truly care and love this person, care about and love this person, then, I would hear them out. Now, you have the Four of Cups here, which is talking about feeling taken for advantage of, feeling taken for granted. For a lot of you, that's exactly what this has been, Scorpio. This is somebody who was, oh, yes, I love you. Oh, we're going to get married someday. Oh, we're going to have kids, or whatever. But they couldn't even commit to you. Like, you didn't even know what they were doing on a Saturday evening, or, they disappear for 2 days and all of a sudden text you, oh, hey, how's it going? And all the while they're happy to come over and, like, Netflix and chill, or whatever the case may be. But the Four of Cups is saying you're not willing to be taken for granted anymore. You're not willing to be taken advantage of. Not that you were willing before. Nobody's a willing participant in that I know of. Nobody goes, oh yes, please take advantage of me. Please make me feel like I'm wasting my time on you. Nobody does that. But this is you having that aha moment where you're going, nope. You thought you could play me before. No, not going to happen. So you're paying close attention to the vibe they're coming back with. Now, this is something tangible coming in through September, and you have the Moon card. The Moon card is Pisces card. So you could be dealing with Pisces. Again, you have Piscean energy coming out twice here. The Moon card represents, I use the example a lot for all my reads because it makes perfect sense in explaining the Moon card. The Moon card is very confusing and very, there's an illusion here, okay? It's like you can't quite trust it. The Moon card is talking about being in the woods somewhere, right? And you have a moon for the only light you can see is the moonlight, and there's an object like 30 feet in front of you, and it's huge and it's dark, and you're going, I don't know what that is. Is that a bear that can eat my feet? Or is that a boulder I can walk around? So here you're kind of tiptoeing, Scorpio, because this person's coming in saying, but I want this peace, I want this resting, I want to get over this, I want to move forward. And yet you're saying, I don't know that I can trust this. I mean, you really are going to need to see action before you make any forward momentum. Just texting you, hey, how are you doing? Or hey, I'm thinking about you. Or WID. If you see my reads, you know I don't do WID. I don't answer to that. I don't like that. That's ridiculous. WID, you can't even spell out what are you doing, or how are you, or how are things going. If you text me WID, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Because like literally, WID isn't even worth my time. I pay my bills, I take care of my shit, and all you can do is text me WID? I don't think so. So this is you looking at it going, let's wait and see. Like, let's put the brakes. I'm going to let them work for it, and they should be working for it because, again, like I said, this person owes you an apology. Crosswatchers, knock it off. This can be reversed, but because somebody's out there going, I owe that, they owe me. Fine, like I said, but at the same time, they do. Scorpio, like full intention, owe you an apology. Whether it's getting back together or not, whether you think that you guys could make it work or not, they owe you an apology. But here it is. The Six of Cups is how you're feeling throughout the month. And the Six of Cups is nostalgia. This is the reconciliation card. The Six of Cups is nostalgia. It's looking back. It's, oh, I miss you. You miss me. There was love there. There were good times there. It's seeing the greater possibilities in it. So don't kid yourself, Scorpio. And if you know I don't sugarcoat stuff, so if that bothers you, I'm not your reader. Don't kid yourself in thinking that you don't want this person back either. Some of you are going to go down in the comments and be like, no, I would never want them back. But when you see the title of this read, which will probably be like an apology coming or something like that, then you know it's about an ex and you know it's about possible reconciliation. If you're still watching it, you know you still love them and you still feel connected to them. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome. Now, you have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is celebration. It's about getting together and safely in a mask. I've said this in every read for September and it pisses me off. Comments really don't bother me because if I'm not your reader, then I'm not your reader. And if you have something negative to say, then you're probably saying it to somebody else or you're feeling the total need to say something negative to me, which is fine. I can be your sounding board if that's what you absolutely need. But recently I had somebody who commented saying that I was exposing people to COVID by encouraging them to meet. And bullshit, because if you've seen my reads over the past few months, you've known that I've said, if you're going to meet people, go sit on a park bench here, sit on a park bench 6 feet away, wear your mask, do the whole thing. So when I say there's a celebration coming, or there's something to be celebrated, or that's what you're looking for, do it safely. But I figure we're all adults here and I don't need to say that. But apparently I do need to preface that. So again, the Three of Cups is talking about when this apology comes, I do feel a sense that you guys will move towards canoodling, if you will. Canoodle with plastic bags all over your body, please, just to play it safe. Okay. The next card you have is your outcome card, which is the Six of Swords, which is very interesting. The Six of Swords is leaving a situation. It's abandoning a situation. It's retreating. Now, It can also be travel. I don't know how much travel anybody's doing right now, but the Six of Swords talks about leaving a situation, which I find interesting because I almost see it, Scorpio, as if the more you leave or the further you go, I know that sounds weird, but it does. It comes across as the further you go, or the more you kind of not prove, but the more you say, like, I'm done, I'm not going there. The more you say, look, you can't just call me back into your good graces or into your life. Like, I know what I want and I know what I deserve. The longer they wait, Scorpio, the further you move. Now, I'm not saying you're moving on. Some of you may come back and say, yes, I am moving on. I've already met people. I'm already online dating, etc. But the Six of Swords talks about leaving a situation behind. I don't at all feel feel like this is permanent. I feel like this is you saying, no, other person, if you don't take me serious in this and you don't think that I'm actually going to leave this situation, you don't think that I actually, can move on from this, you're wrong. And Scorpio, they are wrong, because you're on the brink of saying, nope, I'm good. I think I'm ready for somebody who treats me better. I think I'm ready for somebody who treats me the way I deserve to be treated. Now, you have the High Priestess here, and the High Priestess is something, bigger than yourself. The High Priestess is very much an energy of, or one, yeah. The High Priestess is very much an energy of spirituality and believing in yourself and knowing when you are ready to move forward, or knowing when you're ready to leave in a situation or to move forward in a situation. The High Priestess is saying, don't rush. You don't have to act right now. You don't have to make a decision right now. You don't have to, again, like I was talking about here with the Seven of Pentacles, you're kind of, assessing the situation. Should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I? When the time comes to move, you'll know how, you'll know it's time. So if the person contacts you and they're really showing an effort and they're really saying, look, Scorpio, I'm ready for this again, and you're ready, then you'll move. But you also have the Hermit card here, which is introspection. The Hermit card is Virgo's card, so you could have Virgo placements in your chart or be dealing with Virgo. But the Hermit card talks about, again, a spiritual knowing, a spiritual going within your woman or man cave and saying, hey, I need time to think about this. I'm not going to just jump on this offer because I've been hurt, because my feelings have been hurt, because I've missed you for a long time, and you didn't do what you said you were going to do. We didn't do the things we were going to do. We were going to get married. We were going to have kids. We were going to adopt fur babies. We were going to do all of the above, and somehow they backed out, or the grass was greener, or they thought the grass was greener, or whatever the case may be. But now you have the Emperor coming in, and I feel like this is, well, two things. One, this is for you, but this is also them. Because this is taking control of your life. You're in charge of your life. And this is talking about you not getting walked on. This is talking about you not getting walked on at all, not being taken advantage of, which we talked about. But this person is coming in with a different energy, because the Emperor, which is Aries card, by the way, so you may be dealing with an Aries, but the Emperor is screaming like, I'm ready to be here. I'm ready to pick up the pieces and actually show you what I have to offer. I do feel like for a lot of you, this person is going to be offering something pretty substantial, but it's going to take you a little time to believe it. And for some of you, you're going to have to be able to, like I said, the actions, you're going to have to be able to see it, or you're just going to call bullshit on it because you're not willing to go down that road. For some of you, it was like a doormat, like, oh, okay, you're here, you want to be with me. Oh, okay, now you don't want to be with me. Okay, you want to be with me, but you only want to be with me on your terms. Or, okay, you want to be with me, but you can't see me on Friday and Saturdays, or you want to be with me. I actually, like years and years ago, dated a person who literally was like, oh, I'm not available ever on Saturdays or Sundays. And I was like, why? And they were like, oh, that's my me time. And I went, okay, bye. Like, seriously? No. Like, if you like somebody enough, you make time for them no matter what. Even if you're busy as hell, you make time. Now, you have the Four of Wands again, oops, which I said was one of my favorite cards in the deck. And the only reason I'm moving this is to give you a little more clarity on this. You have the Four of Wands, and you have the Four of Wands as your distant future. Four of Wands is unity. So I'm not gonna lie here, Scorpio. As you know, I don't sugarcoat things. And the biggest thing for me here is there will be an accepting for a lot of you. There will be an acceptance as far as you guys deciding to make things happen. There will be an acceptance as far as you guys deciding, hey, I want to be with you and you want to be with me. Unity. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like Taurus's read was like, they love you, you love me, and it's a thing. It kind of feels similar here in the fact that it's like you both love each other. That's not like there's nothing saying that that's not what's happening. But the Four of Wands is talking about a closer unity or moving towards like the moving in together or the things that moving towards each other, moving into the things that you guys had originally planned to do. And then you have the honeybee, which is reciprocity, which I don't know why it took me forever to. So reciprocation, basically. So reciprocity is, you know, you guys loving each other and giving to each other and like what you give unto me, I will give unto you. And that very much has a sense of you guys being together, that you guys, it's a give and take, okay? And if we make a mistake, we make amends, and then we revolve from that, and then we apologize for those mistakes, and we move on. So it's I apologize to you, you apologize to me, we can make this work, we can make this happen together, and then abundantly we shall live. Scorpio, you know it, and I know it. Shh. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.